2003, Latinos surpassed African Americans as the largest minority in this country. As demographics continue to shift, the relationship between these two groups continues to change. Some see conflict, others see opportunity. What does the future hold for these two communities? A conversation with leading cultural thinkers Ilan Stavans and Henry Louis Gates Jr. I'm Maria Hinojosa. This is One on One. This is an amazing statistic that you know it, but I want people to listen, so say it again.
Between 1502 and 1867, 12.5 million Africans were shipped to the New World. And of that 12.5, 15% died in the Middle Passage, okay? So that means 11.2 about get off the boats in the New World. And of that 11.2, only 450,000 came to the United States in the entire history of the slave trade. 100,000 more black Africans went to your Mexico than came to our United States. But when I say that, even the scholars, they go, oh, surely that can't be right.
That can't be right.
Tell me something that is in
but
the
they're all
anthology.
intermarried. And they came early in the trade. They all intermarried for various historical reasons. And now the Mexicans have an expression, you have a black grandma in the closet. You have 4 children, and one of them has what my mother would say, a little touch of the tar brush in the kitchen.
There's something in the anthology that I think both of you will enjoy or appreciate.
You mean my anthology or your anthology?
In my anthology.
It's a little shorter than mine.
Is it? But look at how gorgeous it is. There's one moment in which Fray Bartolomé de las Casas, the most important activist within the Catholic Church at the time of the colonial period, who is meditating publicly. He's really the first public intellectual of the Hispanic world on this side of the Atlantic.
That's true.
He is meditating on what to do with the suffering of the Indians. And he says the Spaniards had been abusing them. It is time to stop. And he writes a letter to the monarchs in Spain saying, let's stop this.
And bring in those Africans.
Exactly. Let's bring the Africans. They can do it.
Yeah.
The Indians have to be released.
The Africans
Very important.
They suffer better, and they are less human than the native. And that's Las Casas, who was a priest.
True.
Right. But why, I think, and that's why I appreciate so much the work that you're doing and the fact that both of you and many of us in our America are trying to talk about these issues because...
Listen, this pairing represents cross-ethnic cooperation. Ilan and I have been friends for a long time. He watches what I do, I watch what he does. And look, the reason that I got the idea to do the Northern Anthology of African American Literature is that they published the Northern Anthology of Women's Literature. So I was watching the feminists, if they can do it, we can do it. Then Ilan
I did exactly the same.
Yes.
10, 12, 13 years ago, Skip did, and I thought it is time for Latinos to do it. He was a role model, he was a mentor, and I said, this is a moment that in which I have to assume my own responsibility and do something that Skip has already done.
Which is why you're going to give me a royalty.